Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today on Kaydian's Talk Show, we are going to talk about stress management. How do you cope, or what are some of your coping mechanisms that you use to cope while you are experiencing stress? Now, if you are new to my channel, please remember to subscribe, like, share, turn on your post notification so that when we post our next video, you'll be the first to know about it. Also, remember, we're going to grow Kaydian's Talk Show together. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Yeah, we're going to tell all of our friends to subscribe to Kaydian Talk Show. Stay tuned. There's no one way to deal with stressful situations, and persons deal with stressful situations differently. Therefore, today on Kaydian's Talk Show, we'll be hearing from several persons some of the coping mechanisms that they use to help to reduce their stress level. Now, you may ask, what is stress? Stress is basically how we react, or how our body react to pressure. So it's basically, how our mind and body prepare themselves to cope through stressful situations. Persons who experience stress or who are stressed may feel angry, may feel tired, may experience some form of anxiety, tension, muscle tension. So there are several feelings that are associated with you being stressed. And it is important for you to identify a coping mechanism that will help you to reduce your stress or the anxiety that you might be going through at the given moment. So there are several things that may cause somebody to be stressed. It can be financial constraint. It could be a relationship issue, whether it be with your spouse, whether it be with your family, whether it be with a sibling. It could also be the pressure of school. So for students, school can cause some amount of stress. You understand? So there are several things that will cause a person to feel stressed. Now, it is important that you identify what your stressors are, or what are the things that contribute to you being stressed in order to deal with the situation. Because you won't necessarily be able to cope unless you know what are the triggers. What is it that triggers you? So, after you have identified what your stressors are or your triggers, there are several coping strategies that you can use. First of all, it is important to practice self-care. Without self-care, there's no you. So self-care is of utmost importance. It is always important to take some time to unwind. Take some time for self. Take some time to even go out. Find somebody you can trust to talk to, right? So it's always good to talk to others as it relates to the situation that we're going through. As stated, no man is an island. Even though sometimes we'd rather to just keep our problems to ourselves, but you doing that is only making situation worse. So there are several things you can do, and we will now hear what other persons do to cope while they are going through stress. So stay tuned.
So stress can be whether negative or positive. However, how I deal with my stress, mostly negative one, because positive stress makes me feel good. But negative stress, how I deal with it is to find the things that I love to do. And the things that I love to do are, watching movies and series. I spend a lot of time per se watching series because it de-stresses me. So on a day where I feel overwhelmed, when I get home, I take a shower, get something to eat, and sit in bed and watch something interesting. Also, I like to go out with my friends. I like to interact with new people. I like making friends. There was one stressful time in my life while in university when I had to sit out a year because of finances and funding. When I had to sit out university, it was a very stressful time for me. But what I did was to find things that made it easier for me to go through the period, because it was a very stressful event. Not being able to pursue the thing that you wanted to do, I really needed to do. So I found ways to de-stress myself every single day. So I worked on a daily basis, and the job that I did, I actually loved the job that I did. Right, so that was stress relieving for me, and Also, I found other activities to do like badminton. I think you know that's a ball. It was a really excellent sport that I did. But when you're feeling stressed, it's not anything to have bottled up inside, but you try to find avenues to release the stress. So whatever you find that impacts you, whatever you think helps you to de-stress yourself, just do it. Take some time for self-care.
How do I cope with stress? I stay pretty. But honestly, how do I cope with stress? I have been told by many persons that I am a miserable being. So if I am stressed, I try my best, like the close persons to me, I'll try to interact with them. I may not share everything with all of them, but I have some persons who are very close to me, so I will express to them how I'm feeling, and then I'll take some advice, not all the time, but I'll take some advice, the ones that suits me, I'll kind of work with. I play netball, so most times what I've done or what I have been doing is like I'll go and play some ball to try and take what is bothering me off my mind. I interact with my child. What I noticed though is that when you're burdensome or you're stressed, you have to try and find the things that really suits you. So the things that you really love, you have to try and use those things to really overcome your stress. Netball is one of the mechanisms that really helps me. I believe it's because I get an opportunity to socialize with the persons who are really close to me, because I have a netball family that I really love, and when I'm around them, it's like everything fades away. I will go for a drink too. Sometimes I'll go for a drink, and sometimes it kind of wash away the stress. But as I said, if you are stressed, try and find persons who you really have a connection with, somebody that you can trust, you can really anything to, because you don't want to just pour out things to persons who may be negative towards the situation and cause it to be worse. So find persons who will understand your situation or who will try and give you positive advice.
Okay, so how do I cope with stress? I'm not stressed. I'm never stressed. All right, let me think about it. To be completely honest, how do I cope with stress? All right, I'm a very calculated person, so if something is overwhelming or if I feel overwhelmed, I normally know exactly where it is coming from. I am calculated in a sense where I try to put things together in order to avoid being overwhelmed in certain situations. But I have an oh well personality, and it's just oh well. Like I was brought up in a home where my mother said I should love myself before I can extend love. So I love myself to move on from any form of situation. For one, I'm not going to be stressed over someone else's son. That's a no-no, so I'll move on. Experience, I started my master degree right out of UE, and I did 3 semesters, and during the second semester I started working officially, and it started to become overwhelming. I just deferred, legit just deferred, and put off the masters and actually complete my masters now. So sometimes we may give ourselves like timeline, deadlines, but it's okay to slow down, because if you're not mentally prepared for a situation, sometimes you're setting yourself up to fail. And it is okay to be stressed, because stress actually builds character. It makes one more resilient. Don't allow stress to define you. You define stress. Practice self-care. Peace.
How do I cope with stress? First of all, I am religious, so I make references to the scriptures, the Word of God, and that inspires me, motivates me to keep on keeping on. I listen to music as well that speaks to my soul, that inspires me and heal me as well. I also like pastries, cheesecake, black forest cake, and so on. But most importantly, the best coping mechanism for me is my faith, my belief in God, the promises that He has in store for me, and so on. So I always go back to the scriptures, the music, and that's what keep me grounded and focused. And I also reflect on the many blessings that the Creator, Jesus Christ, has done for me, my accomplishments and so on, and the many challenges, the many battles I had, and how I overcame. So that's it for me. I trust you are inspired. Thank you.
Okay, stress. How do I cope with stress? I do lots of stuff, but the main thing I do is have sex. I have sex when I'm stressed. I go out when I'm stressed. I pray, because sometimes when I pray, I ask the Lord to guide me and help me, and I go through my stressful moments. But the most thing I do, which is honestly, is have lots of sex. Yes.
So, based on what we have heard thus far, self-care is of utmost importance when dealing with stress. However, we do understand that there are times when we really cannot control stressful events or situations from happening. However, we do have control over how we choose to react to those stressful events that would have happened in our life. Now, as stated earlier in the video, it is very much important for us to identify what our stressors are and what are the things that would have contributed to us being stressed in order to learn how to cope. You also need to identify what are your coping mechanisms, or what are the things that you really like to do when you're going through that period or phase of your life. So I hope you would have been able to take away something from this vlog as it relates to coping mechanism or strategies you can use. Thank you.